I'm Ali Patterson. On this episode, we're looking into the world of ID verification. For this, we're going to explore the motivation and the market for stolen and copied ID documents, the dark web. But first, let's have a look at how to access this marketplace. I've got here simply Tor project, download Tor for browser. 56 megabytes, a minute to install. And just like that, with a few clicks, I have Tor loaded up. Right, yeah, I'm very much, I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing with this. But there we are, that's Tor loaded up. Allegedly anonymous browsing, but I think you need to have like a virtual private network as well. But we're recording this, so I don't mind being tracked. Right, I've now discovered a marketplace. There's actually hundreds of these marketplaces, but this one here is one called Alphabay. Just got to validate. Within 5 minutes, been able to log onto Tor, create a username and get onto Alphabay, and you can buy drugs, credit cards, whatever you like, using this dark web. But what we're looking for is fraudulent passports. With so many people in the world and so many different types of identity documents, one of the hardest parts about ID verification is to be able to tell a tampered or a counterfeit document from one with simple wear and tear. I spoke with Ofer Friedman from AU10TIX to learn about how to verify an ID document.
Well, obviously, the good old way of sending the customer's picture of an ID, which is the basic use case, to a back office for someone to look at doesn't work because it looks brilliant. Just checking the data against whatever data resources you have obviously doesn't break anything because it checks well. It's a genuine person's data. So it has credit rating, it has credit history, and there is no problem. So the only piece that can effectively help curb this is an ability to check if the image you just got is actually a genuine document and not a made-up one. Now, making up documents is pretty easy, but also nowadays pretty discoverable, okay? Because if the data checks, it must be something about the manipulation of that file. So having the proper technology that looks not just at the data, not just at what's printed on it, but actually looks forensically at that incoming bit of picture is the only way to discover this.
I wanted to see how to obtain fraudulent identities. I'm pretty certain a lot of these items are either spam, scams, or honey traps, but among all of it, I think there's a hell of a lot of legitimate items. I'm just going to search for passports now to have a look at some of the fraudulent passports. Right, it says, this passport is made from a real, actual passport. Only one data page is modified with the details and the picture you will send. Original pages and cover remains with watermarks. This passport is valid for 10 years. The biometric chip is disabled. Can you use this passport for travelling? It's risky, but it's possible to pass airports. This is a fake passport for $2,000 that you can use to fly with. That's crazy. And weirdly accessible. That's scary. That is mind-boggled. What I want to know is, how do these passports stand up?
Typically, it would be opening an account for whatever service or purchase for that matter, it doesn't really matter. Then providing you just with a different address or different location to send the goods, and bingo, a completely genuine person just hit on a financial service, on a money transfer, on the order of a smartphone plus XYZ benefits with it, disappear, you don't have any way to address it, and at some point, I believe statistics say something like 6 to 14 days, does the real person whose identity has just been compromised discovers it. By that time, that person is not there anymore. So obviously, anything you can buy without being present is there to be used. How we detect it, obviously, I will not tell you. but it is based on advanced, basically machine learning enhanced image analysis, which looks at irregularities inside the composition of pictures and some other elements that exist on files that are not the picture itself, but additional information which basically provides you with risk flags on what's happening. And as far as we know, we are the only ones actually doing that. But the basics, the good old basics of just reading what's printed on it, or even reading the barcode that's on a document, or the MRZ lines on a passport, is not good enough because they are easy to reproduce. If you delved into the dark web, as I believe you've done, you will know that nowadays you don't even have to cut-paste information into the document. All you have to do is get a template which is available online, or go into your Photoshop, doing it at home. It will take you, let's say you're investing a little bit in tying it up. It will take you a couple of hours, and you have the perfect document which will go through any conventional solution, not to mention the eyes of someone who's looking at the document. Now, the story becomes a little bit even more tricky once you're not a local business, but you are a cross-border type of business. Now, do you have any idea what an Algerian driving license looks like? Or what a Ukrainian ID, second version from now, looks like? It's simply the current practice of relying on people or relying on OCR-based solutions does not work. This is a major issue. It's already marked as a major issue. What's now popping up is the fact that this is due not to the existence or inexistence of a technology, but practices that keep on insisting on basically reading data that's easy to obtain, checking it against databases that everybody know, and some of them have been compromised lately if you read the news. And that is why there is a constant growth in ID fraud or ID-driven fraud. As far as I remember, something like 85% of all frauds involved identity forgery.